You're listening to the Body Contouring Academy's Proven Profits podcast, where you'll learn simple, actionable strategies from real-world, wildly successful body contouring professionals to help you generate more revenue, realize the profits you deserve, and create the life you desire. I'm Shannon Schimmel.
And I'm Kay Overly, and we're your hosts of the Proven Profits podcast.
Welcome back to the Body Contouring Academy's Proven Profits podcast. I'm Shannon, and Kay is here too. And today we'll complete our probe into the 6 principles of persuasion as we tell you in episode 17 how to flip the magic switch of the consensus principle of persuasion to achieve mega success.
Persuasion in sales has everything to do with human psychology and the study of human behavior. But we know what you're thinking. Hey, we're in the body contouring business. We're not psychologists. Well, we too are not psychologists, so sometimes we feel like it.
Fortunately, none of us have to be psychologists. The study and findings of human behavior science tells us a lot. And the more we learn about human behavior and implement what we know, the more success we'll achieve.
It's been 35 years since Dr. Robert Cialdini published his revolutionary findings on the 6 principles of persuasion. We've discussed 5 of them in earlier episodes, and if you missed any of them, go back and catch them because there's valuable insight in each of them. Previously, we've broken down the principles of reciprocity, liking, authority, consistency, which is sometimes referred to as commitment, and scarcity.
In today's episode, we'll explore the 6th and final persuasion principle, the principle of consensus, sometimes referred to as the principle of social proof.
What is the principle of social proof or consensus? And how does this principle trigger the response we want of yes? Even though all of us like to think of ourselves as independent people, we all look to others when we're deciding how to act and sometimes when we're determining whether something is right or wrong. And the more people who are doing something, the more correct it seems to us to do. Behavioral scientists have a name for this kind of behavior. They call it decision heuristic, and that's their term for a decision shortcut.
Why do we take shortcuts in our decisions? It's because our lives are so busy and complicated. We feel like we can't take the time to evaluate all the elements of our decisions, so we use shortcuts to help us make what we consider to be reasonable decisions. After all, we can justify it mathematically. We reason that the more people that are doing something, the more likely it is to be correct. And fortunately, in most cases, we're right.
This principle is easy enough to understand, right? So how do you implement it in your body contouring business? How do you flip the magic switch of the consensus principle? It's not complicated. You just follow the logic. If you want your patients to do something, show them others are doing it. So use patient testimonials of happy patients, and video is best.
Tout the number of happy patients you have and the number of treatments you've done.
Recount the case histories of some of your more interesting or relatable patients.
Tell how long your business or practice has been satisfying patients.
Use a celebrity or a public figure to show support for your business or your practice. And it's even better if you have them use your services and then talk about you and your services.
So how do you plan to use this principle to achieve mega profits? That brings us to our action step for this episode. There are 3 parts to it. Number 1, collect patient testimonials and put them on your website. If you don't have video testimonials, start asking for them. Number 2, consider the number of satisfied patients you have. Use that number in your advertising and your conversations with patients. And number 3, consider whether there's a local celebrity or public person in your community that may like to have body contouring treatment. Then pay them to talk about it.
That's it for the principle of social proof, also known as the principle of consensus. We hope you've learned a lot from each of our discussions on the 6 principles of persuasion. Now, use each of them, and when you do, you're sure to see skyrocketing sales.
Stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. Bye for now from Shannon and Kay at the Body Contouring Academy's Proven Profits Podcast.